Okay, we're back with another video for you, doing 2 strand twists today, and I'm using the main choice. This was actually my first time using the main choice. It was the 4-leaf clover line, but the leave-in that I used was the Do It For The Culture line Accomplished Triple Layer Leave-In. So this is the client after being freshly washed. She has a very kinky, coily hair with dense head of hair, a lot of strands. So to better control the hair, I washed the hair in 2 strand twists, some chunky 2 strand twists. And here I am applying the Do It For The Culture line from the main choice, the triple layer leave-in, just to get that fully absorbed into the twist so I could go through and start the 2 strand twist process. And some may be wondering why I wouldn't take the twist down to massage the product in, but it actually absorbs just as good with the twist in. You just have to really massage the product in to make sure it absorbs well. So I'm just pinning the excess twist that I won't be working on out of the way so I can have a more focused working area. And I'm going to begin to take down 1 twist and start twisting that into individual 2 strand twists. Now you see me kind of raking through this section pretty easily with my fingers, and that's because I did a finger detangle before I washed it. And I'm applying some oil, which is a sweet almond oil, and this is my first time doing a comb through since I've had the client in the salon all together. So I just like to do a big comb through each section just to ensure that it's going to be a smooth flow while I'm grabbing the sections to start the twisting. I am always a proponent for finger parting, natural parting. It just is a smoother process for me. It makes sense because the overall point for getting really any natural hairstyles, you don't want a lot of scalp and you want full coverage, you want a full look. So the you can get diamond parts or square parts to fall into each other, but personally this is my preference. So I'm starting with the 2 strand twist process, and it's really simple. Like, you just grab a section and you twist down from the root. I don't do I'm not a twist, a grip and twist, or a turn and a twist and turn, or anything technical like that. I literally just kind of like fold it over at the root and then twist down with it's kind of like just one motion. Some people kind of like roll and then twist. That's like a little bit too much activity for my wrists. I do move kind of swiftly, so I don't want to add too much action on my hands and wrists. That can add wear and tear to the hands and body. I mean, doing that so much all day, every day, because I do hair every day. So I just kind of like to keep it simple. And again, just finger parting. I like to part off rolls so I can just kind of like in a sweep get a section knocked out and keep flowing throughout. So that's one small section of a chunky twist that I've got completed. We're going to see the white as I complete the whole head, because that's just how this product is on this client's hair. Really, that's just how that product is, period. A lot of creams actually are just like that, period, when you twist and as the hair air dries, and even once you put the client under a hooded dryer to knock the rest of the dampness off after the service is complete, it dissipates. That the whiteness dissipates. So again, this is just going down with the same method, and you can see like it's no real space at the root. Like, it just looks like it's completely twisted from the root to the end of the hair. And when I go through each section, I do like to once I apply the cream, the twisting cream. I just kind of like to go through the section and make sure it's worked in, so that while I'm twisting down, it's kind of like a really smooth flow. Because what can happen is you'll run into some kinks just because the strands, our hair strands like each other, so it's nothing for them to, get together and say hey and have a whole meetup while you're trying to accomplish a style. So sometimes it happens at the end as well, but my overall purpose in just working in the product is to avoid as much of that as possible. So, moving forward with the same process, finger parting. And these are like medium. I know, like, with this client's head of hair, this is actually the same model who I worked on from the previous video, my last video of finger coils. So that's why her hair and head may look familiar. But yeah, the twists may look large. They actually like medium size. She just has dense hair, so it swells. But yeah, this is just like, and then you're kind of seeing how the hair is gradually shrinking up. Like, I'm doing this on wet hair, obviously, but that's just shrinkage. I'm glad that came out, because or came up while I'm doing this voiceover, because it could have such a bad name. Like, you see from that last clip to now how it's kind of like forming into like a sort of shorter bob. It's so cute. Like, her hair is like naturally layered. But yeah, shrinkage is healthy. Like, it's literally like the hair's representation of how elasticity is in our skin. We are so, it's always been all the rage to have all these quote unquote fountain of youth products, for lack of a better reference, things that, wrinkle prevention and youthful looking skin. These are all of the things, the trigger points that we hear from some of the skin industries, products, commercials, and advertisements. So, but with the constant popularization of natural hair and the natural hair industry becoming more commercialized, people who are popular on your social media platforms have kind of, in a lot of ways, given shrinkage a bad name, and don't embrace it so much. So yeah, we kind of strung out on having length retention, but length retention is different from shrinkage, because length retention is actually like growth. That's just another way to say hair growth. But shrinkage is not a bad thing. So I don't think that we should maintain a negative connotation on the subject, because if you don't have shrinkage, then you have heat damage. You have limp, straight hanging hair that prevents you from having a very plump and luscious looking body of voluminous hair, like so, that's pictured here in the video. So back to the twist. You see me working in the product. I split the section in two and just start the twist right from the root and work my way down in a sweep. And this is always in real time. Nothing is sped up. I just like to move fast, so neither one of us are together for a very long time, just for convenience sake, for the client and myself, just out of fairness. And you see me working it in more at the ends, because sometimes the ends can be resistant to the product. And this was our first time doing the 2 strand twist. So sometimes different styles, people's hair kind of take a while to get acclimated to the process. And it was a similar thing when doing the finger coils. If you wanted to check that video out, with the different textures in the head of hair, it took a bit more reinforcement of the actual coiling to get it to actually take to the coil. So that's, in this video here today, that's what's happening with, really just applying the product to the ends of the hair to make sure like I could twist it all the way to the end and it just curls on its own instead of having like a staticky, frizzy look at the end. So that's really my objective behind really working that in at the end. So yeah, it's really a very redundant process once you kind of decide what size you're gonna do and you know what shape you want to give the client, you know, how you're going to frame the face of the client with the twist. Is pretty much you just going through doing the same thing. Again, my whole reason I have a preference for finger parting is because you know, while you working, it's almost prone to drop a comb or a clip or something like that. So just to be as work focused, like focused on the medium as possible, not having to run to the sink and rinse things off and like wasting time doing things like that, reaching for a comb and so on and so forth. Those things add to the time of the service. Like it might seem like minor or minuscule how much time it takes, but all of those seconds add up to minutes. So I'd rather just be right here with my fingers and hands twisting and with a few clips, you know, keeping everything separated and controlled for as neat look as possible so I can have a polished look. So this last twist, twisting all the way down, and this is the finished look. As I mentioned, you know, until the hair is fully dry, you're gonna have a slight white overcast. But now this is the completely dry head of twist, and you know they've shrunken a bit to a nice bob sort of look. Lots of body, very nice shine. I really like this product actually. I really like the main choice. Like this was filmed last year, like early 2019. I know, I'm just getting around to putting it out. Very busy, not really making excuses, but I'm glad you hung out with me, and this is the finished look. Thanks for watching.